No.
Raj!
No.
Adil!
No.
Then what kind of party is this without my friends?
It's a housewarming party where we get to know the neighbors.
Mrs. Wan from the 8th floor is coming. Her 2 boys go to the same school as you.
Oh, nice!
Hey, I can't find Nikki's recorder, and he's got music class today.
Nikki, I will look for your recorder in here. You go get your bag and we leave in 2 minutes. Okay?
Party! Party, party, party!
Party, party, party. Party, party, party. Party, party, party.
You put it in the kitchenware box? Who's gonna think to look there?
Nobody! That's the idea. I put all of Nikki's noisy toys in here. Yeah? Toy guitar. Toy siren car. Toy hammer. Yeah, I thought he'd forget about it so that we can just chuck it away.
Smart move. Now, throw this in the cupboard. Okay, if Nikki starts playing with that toy guitar again, nobody's gonna come for the housewarming party.
Nikki, come. Found your recorder. Let's go.
Have you seen my toy guitar? Maybe during the party I can play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star.
No, haven't seen it.
Where could it be? Come, let's go. Don't forget the streamers for the party.
I won't. Bye.
Bye.
Hi, Ronnie. Dad left me what?
There's something shady going on. No legitimate business would hire thugs to get rid of people they don't want.
I don't know. If I could hire a couple of thugs to get you thrown out of my office right now, I might.
How can you just stand there and do nothing?
Because you don't have any evidence to prove that BDTS is harassing landowners to sell.
Then what about the fact that the redevelopment plans for Jalan Takdir haven't been revealed? I mean, what sort of businessman buys a piece of land without first knowing what he plans to do with it?
Well, what sort of businessman won't let go of a piece of land because he feels guilty over an old friend?
May Wan told you about Missy. That woman can't keep her mouth shut.
James, I need you to
Not
find
now,
out
you.
this. But it's urgent and Ananya's not here.
She isn't?
She had to go and settle something. This needs to go out now.
Okay. There you go.
Okay, thanks.
Why are you still here? I am not going to help you.
Think of it as helping Ananya. Jalan Takdir meant a lot to her mom. I mean, surely you could spare an hour or two making a couple of phone calls for her sake.
You finally decided to sell. It's the right time. When boss lady closes down, Handsome can finally open his Handsome Boss.
You don't feel sad about boss lady? Not even a little bit?
Yeah, I started here to feed my children. Now all of them has grown up already. I'm glad that Handsome wanted to continue. Now I can focus on everyday soy.
Right, we were supposed to have that meeting. Just give me a minute.
Hey, if you're not feeling well, we can do it another
I'm
day.
fine. Okay, I'm not gonna let them affect me anymore.
Who?
My mom and Adib. Their relationship always put me in a spot. I knew they loved each other, but at the same time, it was wrong. I never knew what to do, what to think, what to feel.
It's all in the past.
It's
now.
not. Ronnie called me this morning. She said I should have this. Do you know what's inside? Fountain pen? Maybe an old watch? I wish. That might have been nice. But this box is filled with memories of my mom. He kept every letter she wrote, every picture they took, even tickets to concerts.
Your mom meant a lot to you.
He was married to someone else. He had a whole other family. He was having an affair. You don't keep evidence of an affair. You get rid of every damn thing. He was a PI. He should have known better. I know they loved each other. I know this box is full of good memories they had of each other, but their memories are not my memories.
old are you here? 6?
My mom and Adiba smiling. But I remember that day too. When I went home, I asked why my dad couldn't spend the whole day with me. Why he always had to leave. Why couldn't he be like my friend's dad? That's what I remember.
So, what are you gonna do with the box?
What am I supposed to do with it? They put me in a spot again. Do I throw everything away? Remind myself that I never had a family? Or do I keep every last letter? The only pieces I have of a dad that I never knew. You tell me, James, what am I supposed to do?
You both have a fight?
No, I walked away before that. If I stayed, I'll surely blow up.
Yeah, you don't have to blow up. Just tell her that you were hurt.
I don't want to upset her.
What kind of marriage is this?
I know you didn't want me to marry her, but she's my wife, okay?
I know. That's why I say you cannot walk away when you're not happy. You have to tell her, talk to her, or she won't know.
You are giving me marriage advice?
Madeline doesn't seem like a bad person. When she says that your company is small, she's not making fun of it.
You're right about Madeline, Ma. She's a good person. Ma, can I bring her here? I really want the two of you to meet properly.
Ma, go. I decided I don't want to set up handsome boss at Louis' co-working space.
Why not?
Yeah, it's already settled. The co-working space is perfect for you.
Say so? Nobody asked me.
I should have discussed it with you first. Okay, I am sorry. No need to get angry.
No, I am still not starting handsome boss Tahui at Louis' space.
Look, I've changed my mind.
You're doing it for Ananya.
No, I'm doing it because of the 1 in a million chance you might be right. I want to make sure that KSUH isn't dealing with a shady company.
And Ananya being CEO, she'd have to take the fall.
It's not personal.
Doesn't matter. You're on board.
Okay.
Hey, we're gonna have to reschedule that meeting we were supposed to have.
Sure.
I'm, sorry I unloaded on you just now. Won't happen again. Also, do you think Derek might want this? It's him, isn't it?
Yeah, it was different hairstyle because he had hair, but it's the same smirk.
Why are you looking at the Jalan Takdir documents?
Dad insists there's something shady going on with BDTS.
That's ridiculous.
He's just clinging to the possibility that he can keep Jalan Takdir.
Why?
Well, I think this photo was taken near there. He's got some kind of emotional attachment to the place.
I'll talk to him.
This really means a lot to me. Thank you.
Is it true you're holding on to Jalan Takdir because of my mom?
I made her a promise, Ananya.
What? That you would never let go of this street?
The street was very important to your mother and father. This was where they met, where they fell in love.
So?
You don't understand. Your mother's family took me in when I had nothing. And how did I repay their kindness? By introducing Adib to her.
That's all in the past.
Missy saved my life and I ruined hers. Keeping the street the way she loved it, it's the least I can do.
I know exactly how you feel. But you and me, we can't keep paying for the relationship they had.
I've kicked myself over and over again for introducing them.
Yes, you introduced my mother to Adib, but you didn't force them to continue the relationship. They could have ended it.
They were so in love.
They wouldn't be the only two people who love each other but can't be together.
Adib and Missy did try to stay apart, but it was impossible.
Their relationship didn't just affect themselves. It affected you and me. You've been guilty for so long, and I've been angry my whole life. They're both gone now. We have to stop paying for what they did. That's what they would have wanted.
Come on, Daddy, I'm going to be late.
Late for what?
It's Nikki's housewarming party. I want to see his room. Please, Daddy.
Maxine, I got a ton of work to do here. I just can't go to a party.
You don't have to go. Because Nikki didn't invite you. Just me. You can drop me and pick me up later.
All right, I will take you, but let me finish this first, okay?
Yay!
Hey, where you... Maxine, don't go to the... Maxine, you need to wait.
Oh, is this the box of...
Letters my mother wrote to my dad.
Oh, sorry, I thought they were party decorations.
I forgot. I'm sorry. Everything's just been a blur since I met Rani this morning and she gave me this box.
You look like you need a break. You don't have to be at the party, you know? You can go into your room and rest. I can tell Mrs. Wong that you're at work or something.
I told James. I told Derek. And I'm telling you now. I'm not gonna let my parents' past affect me. I planned today and I'm gonna enjoy my party.
Hey, you said we didn't have any. And you hid them in your office supplies box?
Oh, these are so ugly. I wanted to get nicer ones. Don't look at me like that. You did the same thing with Nikki's toys.
Why is he like that? I already said I'm sorry, okay? I didn't ask him. And then he still go out while looking for shop spaces with Rickson.
Handsome boss doesn't need to be Louis' co-working space, right?
I have already agreed with Louis. And then it's better that Handsome is working with me, right? I can watch over him. He can't run the business on his own.
I thought you were going to hire a manager to help him.
Not so easy to find someone so fast. I need to get to know this person. Make sure he can be trusted to help Handsome. No matter what, I still need to be there.
Don't worry. Handsome is just excited about Handsome boss. He'll change his mind later.
James, I was just about to call you. I was talking to Ananya earlier. Maybe I should just
I
forget.
found something.
What?
Meet me in my office in half an hour.
Is Nikki room there?
Yeah, come. Let me take you.
Hey, you wanna stay for a bit?
No, I've got a meeting with my dad.
He's still going ahead with the investigation. Thought I managed to get through to him.
Oh. Look, I'll see you in an hour, okay? Hey.
I'm so sorry, Hock. All I meant was that you're capable of bigger and better things. I believe in you so much.
Promise. I will make it big my way.
I love it when you talk like that.
Your father can try to put me down, but I'm going to keep working harder, faster, smarter.
I know you will, Hock.
With you by my side, I can achieve anything. I can achieve everything.
Oh, Hock, that's so powerful, so potent, so sexy. Let's go.
Hey! We have to go somewhere else, remember?
Before BDTS was BDTS, it went by another company name.
What company?
A company linked with Charles's father.
Henry Kwan.
Company failed, it was shut down, then it was started over again by Donovan Rossi.
Never heard of him.
I met him a while back. He's friends with Charles, which makes it unusual that there's no connection between Charles and BDTS. But then, actually, that doesn't add up, because why would Charles need to be part of a company that needs to buy something from KSUH?
You said that BDTS used to be known by another name. What was it called?
It was East Ascent.
East Ascent. East Ascent was the company that led to the downfall of Kwan Industries and Henry Kwan.
So what? What does it have to do with Jalan Takdir?
Nothing. It has nothing to do with Jalan Takdir. Nothing to do with me. But Henry.
What did you do to Henry?
Look, it's not my fault the man has got no self-control, okay?
What are you talking about?
Well, you know, we used to play poker, right? Henry was a terrible player. You know, sometimes to make the games more interesting, we didn't just bet money. We bet companies.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
I told him not to. But Henry had this crazy idea that he needed to win East Ascent. He bet everything he had to get it. And when he did, it turned out to be a dud. He lost everything.
But what aren't you telling me here?
Henry was penniless. He turned to me for help. But Shelley Holdings was struggling to stay afloat as well. You know, I couldn't spare anything.
So you just watched while everything Henry Kwan built fell apart. Wow, you were a real saint, Dad.
My hands were tied. If I tried to help, I would risk losing both companies. You know, and if this is some kind of revenge plot that Charles has, I'll be truly surprised. As a businessman, Charles will know this is the only decision I could have taken.
You deserted Henry, and then when you needed help, you shamelessly turned to Charles and his father.
Charles had managed to get the Kwans back on their feet by then. You know, they were well off. They could well afford to help.
I had to marry Emily as part of that deal.
Stop making this about yourself. We had to do what we had to do to protect our family.
You weren't protecting the family. You weren't protecting me. You were protecting yourself.
Hey, where do you think you're going? We haven't decided how we're going to manage Charles.
You were on your own on this one. I don't care if Charles is involved. You deserve to lose Jalan Takdir.
I got you a t-shirt that screams, I am the boss.
Thank you.
Oh, and I got you some ginseng and bird's nest and tonics.
So many, yeah.
Oh, it's nothing. I'm just so excited to see you again, Mom.
I didn't get you anything. I didn't know you're coming today.
Oh, please, you don't have to get me anything. You've already given me the greatest gift of all, this amazing, wonderful man.
Then stay for dinner, simple meal. Sit. I'll go and get the food.
Oh, let me help you. Where do you keep the plates behind? Let me get them.
What do you think about Madeline?
I like her. She knows I am a boss.
Can Maxine stay a little while longer, please? Just 5 minutes.
No, we should go. It's late.
Yeah. The next time we have a party, we'll invite you over, okay?
Like the wedding. Yay! Dun, 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 dun.
So you guys still want to get married, huh?
Not us, them. Auntie Nanya and Daddy are getting married. And I'm invited.
Of course you are. It's gonna be beautiful, so wear your prettiest dress, okay?
Maxine, come. Let me give you the food that I've packed for you.
Wow, you really work fast, huh? I wonder what Charles would say knowing he was so quickly replaced by Kenneth. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. Look, I'm just having a really bad day, and you're doing the right thing, staying as far away as you can from the Kwans and the Shelleys. And Kenneth is Kenneth is a good man.
Hey.
Thank you, and congratulations, to both of you. And maybe the next party you guys have, I can get invited to, not just Maxine, huh? Okay, let's go.
Are you not gonna go after him?
What for?
Nanya, when the two of you are together, there's this vibe. These invisible sparks that are just bouncing off the both of you.
Rubbish.
You still have feelings for him.
So what if I do? This morning I was mad because I was saddened at this. But actually, it's the greatest present my parents have given to me. I read this. If I thought my feelings for James were strong, They're no match for what Adeep and my mother shared. They had an amazing bond. But it cost too much. They had to pay for it, I had to pay for it. Derek had to pay for it. Them being together was a selfish decision that affected so many people around them. It would be the same for James and I. It's just not worth the pain to us and to the people around us.
Go take a break. I'll finish up the cleaning.
You really are the best man for me.
Hey, AJ.
Yes, Kenneth.
Come over for dinner tomorrow. I need help with the engagement.
Do I get to be your best man?
I need help with changing Anania's mind about marrying me.
How am I supposed to do that?
Not you. If anyone can show Anania that she's making the biggest mistake of her life, it's Cameron.
Okay, so you want me to tell Cameron that...
No, don't tell Cameron anything. Leave that to me tomorrow. Yeah, bye. I mean, no meetings or anything.
I told them to clear my schedule after my big meeting. My brain would probably be too fried to work anyway.
Excellent. Ajay and Cameron will be joining us too.
What? Why?
Well, they haven't seen the flat, and we haven't told them about our engagement.
Actually, you know what? I think I forgot. I have a meeting.
Don't bluff.
You snuck that up on me, okay? I don't want to spend an evening with Cameron. She's gonna have 101 questions about our engagement. Not that it's any of her business.
Early dinner, don't be late.